Hey guys, how you doing? Luna here with a new video. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a review of Drake's brand new album, For All the Dogs. Honestly, every time that Drake releases a new album, it's sort of like a roller coaster for me because part of me wants to be positive and wants to be cheerful and wants to, jump in the album with no expectations at all, nor good or bad. But a really big part of me also knows that this album is going to be the same thing that Drake has been doing for the past 8 years. I'm pretty sure that if you've been following Drake's work, he's stopped giving a fuck when he released Views. Noticed that he didn't really needed to put that much effort on the albums for them to be popular. So now we have this 24-track, hour-long albums that are mostly filler. And I think that's pretty much a really good way to describe this record because it's a really bloated album. It's all over the place. It has a bunch of unfinished ideas. Even though I've heard this album, I think 4 or 5 times since it was released. And the reason why I heard this album so much in such a short period of time is because I wanted to get info. I usually don't listen to albums that much. Whenever I'm going to do a review, 2 or 3 listens are more than enough. And sometimes if the album is fucking incredible, 1 listen is enough to blow me away. But with this album, every listen, I just forgot everything I've heard a second ago. And even though you have 23 songs and the album is 1 hour and 25 minutes long, I don't really have that much to say about it. Actually, I'm predicting that this review is going to be stupid short. It's pretty much the same thing that Drake has been doing since the release of Views, getting all these songs out, getting all these different lyrical concepts that contradict each other constantly. The character that Drake tries to project in these albums, it can't be a real human, It's almost like if you ask the Matrix what a real human is, this is the type of shit that will come out. Even though it seems like I have a really negative opinion on this album so far, I do have to say that some instrumentals on this album are really good. For example, Calling For You featuring 21 Savage, it's a good song. I like the song. 21 Savage verse is amazing. I also like Slime You Out with SZA. I think that Drake and SZA had a really good chemistry on that track. 8 AM in Charlotte, I believe it's my favorite track from the album. I'm not really a fan of the lyrics, as always, but I do like the flow and I do like the instrumental, so yeah, it's a good song. Bahama Promises is another favorite of mine on this album. I really like Drake's, how the way he plays with harmonies on the song, and it's kind of like a Kanye production. It's really similar to a Kanye song, if you ask me. I don't think it's a ripoff. I just think, he was trying something new, and it played out, honestly. I think it's a good song. The problem is that even though, yes, I do like more than a few songs on this record, as I said before, there's 23 tracks on this album, and the runtime is 1 hour and 25 minutes. There's not enough good material or even decent to make this album salvable in some way. It's too long with too much filler, to the point where I can't name any other songs on this album, even though I've heard this shit for 6 hours consecutively this morning. Also, if you need some sort of evidence that Drake's not using a ghostwriter anymore, you can see lines like, all I see is W's and M's, life's looking like a bathroom, like women and men. Or for example, that line where he thinks he's bisexual because the girl he is with is, one of the guys. Also, Drake doesn't even make an effort at connecting the tracks in this album, This is more a compilation rather than an actual album. I thought, for example, that with Nevermind, Drake was at least trying to follow a concept, a musical concept, a style throughout the album. But in this record, he completely forgets about it because even inside one song, there's some musical passages that are not connected to each other. For example, in the track I Don't Give a Fuck, where he starts with this jazzy, soulful sample, and then it's just a rap song. There's no connection. It's not even like a moody rap song. It's a straight up banger. And the song is not even that bad. It's actually quite good, but what the fuck was that intro? It's completely useless because the intro has nothing to do with the track, nor with the previous track. It's not like they were trying to connect the previous track to the new one. It's just there. I kind of believe that whenever Drake raps about M's, he's not really talking about millions. He's talking about mediocre, because that's one way to describe this whole album and most of Drake's discography in the past fucking 8 years. Mediocre. There's no passion in this record. record. Maybe that's the fucking reason why he can just release his album so quickly, year after year, because there's little to no effort put on these fucking songs. He pays for a really cool feature, for example, J. Cole, 21 Savage, SZA, Party Next Door. He gets a bunch of producers to make some good beats, and then he slaps the birds on the song, and there you go. You have the album. 23 songs, an hour and 25 minutes of material, and I still have nothing more to say about this record other than just, a bunch of filler and a few good songs on them. And of course, you have that Bad Bunny song, Gently is the example of Drake doing the bare minimum on a song. Like, my first language, my native language is Spanish. And the thing is that 40% of the time, Drake is not really making any sense at all. Bad Bunny does an amazing job, his flow is really good. It makes you want to move. His performance, you can tell the passion. You can tell that he likes the music. But Drake sounds so awkward. When he released Mia, I think it sounded better, I think that his performance in Spanish on that song wasn't really that bad. But here it's just so bad. I don't understand how a person that has such a big team, someone that is supposed to tell him like, hey, this doesn't really sound good, maybe you should try a little harder. But no, it's like, it's barely Spanish, I can barely understand what you're talking about, but hey, you're Drake, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna be alright. Anyway, there's more than a few good songs in this record. Honestly, as I said before, I don't give a fuck if you ignore that fucking useless intro. It's a good song. Amen. I think Virginia Beach, it's a nice track too. Bahamas Promises is a good song. Slim You Out, I think it's a good song too. 8 AM in Charlotte, in my opinion, I think it's my favorite song from the album. So if you like Drake's style of performing, if you like his flow, if you like his voice, there's more than a few songs that you're gonna like on this record. The reason why I'm so mad at this album is because there's such a wasted potential in Drake that I feel every time I listen to his songs, I think that maybe it's because I heard albums like Take Care and I still reminisce about how good he was back then, and I don't see that anymore, so it makes me angry. But still, I'm not gonna say that this album is as bad as Certified Lover Boy, Scorpion, More Life. Based on the songs that I like and based on the fact that there's no really any terrible songs, and even though there's more than a few corny lines here and there, the lyrics on this album are not really that bad. I'm gonna give this album a 3, and yeah, we're gonna call it a day. That is gonna be it for today's video, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed. If you did, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any other videos that I upload. I am really sorry if you were waiting for a more detailed review about the music. It's just that I'm just too exhausted. I've said it before on this channel, I think that Drake has been releasing the same album ever since Fuse. It sounds the same, it has the same type of vibe behind it, and the music is pretty much the same, minus a few dance songs that he doesn't really do anymore. But yeah, this is pretty much your typical Drake album. There's nothing more to it. So talking about the music seems like a fucking waste of my time, really. If you're a Drake fan, you know what to expect. If you're not a fan, you know what to expect because everyone has heard a Drake song. Just take that song and apply it to this album. It's exactly the same. So that's the reason why I'm not really jumping to specifics on this album. However, I do want to know your opinion on this album. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to take a look at your comment and give you my opinion on your comment. So go ahead and do that. And with that being said, once again, I hope that you enjoyed and I hope that I can see you guys soon with a new video. But until then, bye.